Las Vegas, a city known for its bright lights and endless entertainment, is a place where dreams are made and fortunes are lost. Amidst the glitz and glamour, high rollers flock to the casinos, hoping to strike it rich. But beneath this veneer of excitement, the city harbored a dirty secret. Corruption had wormed its way into the city's government, tainting the very core of its administration. Politicians entrusted with power and responsibility were abusing their positions for personal gain, engaging in shady deals and backroom negotiations. The FBI, however, was watching closely, meticulously gathering evidence and monitoring every suspicious move. Operation G-Sting, a sting operation of epic proportions, was about to expose the truth and bring the corrupt to justice. The investigation targeted public officials suspected of accepting bribes and kickbacks, capturing their illicit activities on hidden cameras. These officials, who were supposed to serve the people, were instead living extravagantly beyond their means, lining their own pockets with ill-gotten gains. The FBI was determined to bring them to justice, meticulously preparing evidence for prosecution and planning high-profile arrests. The stakes were high, and the agents knew they had to be smart, strategic, and precise in their actions to ensure the success of the operation and restore integrity to the city's government. As the investigation in Las Vegas deepened, the FBI uncovered a web of corruption that stretched all the way to San Diego. What started as a localized probe into the shady dealings of a few officials quickly ballooned into a sprawling investigation that revealed the true extent of the corruption. It seemed that the greed of these officials knew no bounds. They were willing to compromise their integrity and the trust of the public for personal gain, engaging in elaborate schemes to line their pockets. The scope of Operation G-Sting expanded, and the agents found themselves pursuing leads in a whole new city. The investigation team had to adapt quickly, coordinating with local authorities and navigating the complexities of a new jurisdiction. The investigation in San Diego focused on similar schemes of bribery and kickbacks. The patterns were disturbingly familiar, with officials exploiting their positions for financial gain, often at the expense of the communities they were supposed to serve. Elected officials were caught red-handed accepting money and favors in exchange for political influence. Hidden cameras and wiretaps provided irrefutable evidence of their illicit activities, leaving no room for denial. The audacity of their crimes shocked even the most seasoned FBI agents. Despite their extensive experience, the sheer brazenness and scale of the corruption they uncovered left them astounded, reinforcing the importance of their mission to root out such pervasive wrongdoing. The undercover agents were masters of deception. They wined and dined their targets, showering them with gifts and promises of even greater riches. The officials, blinded by greed, fell for the ruse hook, line, and sinker. They had no idea they were dealing with the FBI.
The evidence gathered by the undercover agents was damning.
Video footage showed officials accepting envelopes stuffed with cash, negotiating bribes and backroom deals, and using their positions for personal gain.
The FBI had them dead to rights. The investigation culminated in a series of high-profile arrests. Politicians who once seemed untouchable were now facing serious charges. The news of their arrests sent shockwaves through both Las Vegas and San Diego.
The public was outraged by the revelations of Operation G-Sting. People were furious that the officials they had entrusted with power had betrayed them in such a brazen manner. The media had a field day, covering every twist and turn of the scandal.
The trials of the accused officials were major news events. Prosecutors presented mountains of evidence, including the damning undercover recordings. Juries were left with no doubt about the guilt of the defendants.
In the end, Operation G-Sting resulted in numerous convictions. The operation was a landmark in the fight against corruption, showcasing the power of diligent investigation and the rule of law. Corrupt officials were removed from office and faced stiff penalties, including prison sentences and hefty fines. These actions demonstrated the serious consequences of abusing public trust and highlighted the importance of integrity in public service.
The sting operation sent a clear message that no one is above the law. It reinforced the principle that justice must be served, regardless of one's position or power. But the impact of G-Sting extended far beyond the courtroom. It sparked a nationwide conversation about the need for ethical governance and the role of citizens in holding their leaders accountable. The scandal led to calls for greater transparency and accountability in government. Citizens rallied for reforms, demanding that their leaders operate with honesty and openness. Reforms were implemented to prevent similar abuses of power from happening again. New policies were introduced to enhance oversight, ensuring that public officials could no longer exploit their positions for personal gain. Operation G-Sting served as a stark reminder that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. It underscored the necessity of constant monitoring and proactive measures to safeguard democracy and uphold the values of justice and fairness.